in Dubai this weekend. So over on the other side, Pool C is going to get underway at the same time. That's Ireland, Spain, France and Uganda's pool. But we're here with Canada against the USA. USA have had a good time of it of late. They finished 6th in Hong Kong last week, and they welcomed back some big names, the likes of Kayvon Williams, the captain, Joe Schrader, Stevie Thomasine and Lucas Lecamp, all back on deck for the USA Eagles here in Dubai this weekend. Canada, they've had change off the field. Henry Paul, their head coach, released from his contract. So Sean White, a long-term servant as a player and coach for Canada Rugby, has taken over in the absence of Henry Paul. AJ Jacobs is your referee for this one from South Africa, and alongside me, former England Sevens captain Rob Vickerman. Rob, Mike Friday said during the week he's pleased he's not in Pool A and B. Some big heavy hitters on the other side of the draw, but they need to start well here.
Oh, don't they just? Wonderful to be back here in the desert, Rupert. What a special place to see Rugby Sevens played. You're exactly right, Mike Friday. We'll be happy not to be in those the two pools that look significant, but this is a game against their old enemy.
Steve Thomasine gets us underway in Pool D in the men's competition. Slightly overcooked the kickoff, so we'll come back to the centre spot. Canada, an emotional time for them this week. One of their own, Nick Allen, was in a serious motorcycle accident in Bali. He was part of their Commonwealth Games team, part of the Canadian Sevens team the last couple of seasons. There's a GoFundMe page which has been set up to help raise money for his recovery. We understand that surgery was successful and he's on the road to recovery, but motivation, Rob, for this Canada side to put in a good performance here first up.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the type of thing you talk about, communities in rugby. Little error from Jake Teal there, but you have a higher purpose at times. You try and back your teammates on and off the pitch, and that's going to be something that we're talking about. They won't let it distract them necessarily, but you got that little bit of extra motivation to put the dark work in.
Our thoughts with Nick Allen and his family as he struggles back after that incident. But here we go. It's Kayvon Williams. USA pleased to have him back after he missed Hong Kong. He got injured at the Rugby World Cup of Sevens in Cape Town a few months ago, and here he is off the base of the scrum. Thomasine's there to help him out, as is Lucas Lecamp at scrum half, and David Still, who's picking up a lot of minutes of late for this USA Eagles Sevens side. Joe Schrader, also unavailable in Hong Kong. Still again to Williams. Awkward ball, does well to hold on to it. Tupuola now has got Perry Baker to his right. Baker, who is captain in Hong Kong. The absence of Williams. Lecamp, he missed the Hong Kong event to do his college exams at UCLA. Here's Thomasine inside to Lecamp. Lecamp will get away, and the USA Eagles have their first try at the Dubai Sevens.
It's on the back of some nice possession. That's the one thing they didn't have much of in Hong Kong. Stats not their friends after that, but this is what they can do. With it in hand, nice little inside ball. Lecamp gets the fend on Isherwood. That gets him free to the line. The young American. Lecamp. He's got a bit of reputation pending. Mike Friday talks him up often. And that's where you want to see him, over the try line, getting the points.
Yeah, a much more balanced squad this week for the USA, with the likes of Lecamp back, pace, power, and some ball-playing ability in the middle of the field as well. And there you go, graphic top left. It's been a good run for the USA against Canada. They won their last 6 and 13 of their last 14 against their North American rivals.
Well, there's a bit on them from the North American point of view as well. Neither of these teams will be represented in the Rugby World Cup 15s, first time ever. So the Sevens players are flying a flag for their nation's rugby outfit.
Yeah, we were here a couple of weeks ago, and the USA 15-a-side team fell to Portugal. Well, drew with them, but Portugal went through on points difference to the 15-a-side Rugby World Cup in France next year. As you say, here we are, Sevens. Phil Burner into contact. Alex Russell over the halfway line, put down by Baker, back off the floor to David Richard and to Burner, and he gets clear of Lecamp. And Phil Burner from the Vancouver Rowing Club replies for the Maple Leafs.
And that's what they want to be doing with ball in hand. Come out of Hong Kong, The third most offloads. They love keeping this ball alive, and that's what happens. You get in behind the defence, the space is there. They better that by having the least errors as well. Big, powerful run.
Webster adds the extra 2, so Canada take the lead. 2:50 to go in the first half. As we mentioned, it's been a bit of change off the field for Canada. Henry Paul, who was head coach of the team for a couple of seasons, he's been released from his contract, and Sean White has taken over, who's a long-term player in both 15s and 7s and was Henry Paul's assistant of late. Here's David Still for the USA. Crossover athlete out of the X and O's program. Tupuola. Here's Baker. Thomason. Williams. Opportunity now for Schrader. Big 6'5", over to similar sized player David Still, who's going to take some stopping. He thunders down the sideline. David Still has the USA's second try. Worth watching this guy bit by bit, becoming a Rugby Sevens thoroughbred.
And it's that initiation in a get with this Eagles team. Build your minutes, earn your stripes. But look at him. Everything about this guy is athletic, big, fast, strong. He's getting that fitness in the legs as well. Even the grind to get round the post, putting it in. David Still, the third, gets his first.
6'6", 230 at pace. Tough to stop. He still hasn't been playing the game all that long. He'd only picked up a rugby ball 7 months before we first saw him at the Vancouver Sevens in 2021.
That's remarkable, isn't it? Really have to talk that up, because if the US, as everyone in the world of sport knows, tap into this athletic potential, get them into the rugby world, that is going to be some force.
There's the try source for the USA. Set piece is their go-to. That's where they get most of their money. Webster can't bring in the restart, but Alex Russell has it. Now, Morra. Yeah, penalty to Canada. 30 seconds to go here. 5 points the difference.
Canada just playing to their strengths from their set piece. Talked about their offloading game. Need to be solid at these lineouts to get their starter plays flying. Webster is a delight when he has the ball in hand. A real jack of all trades in the middle.
Lineout's been overthrown, and the USA have it. Lecamp gets away. Lucas Lecamp looking for his second try. On the chase is David Richard. Does well too, but he's flicked it back inside as Lecamp keeps it alive. Here's Still. Williams. He's got Baker with him. Perry Baker, little hitch kick. Morra shadows him. Gets away from Webster inside to Kayvon Williams, the captain. Tupuola to Schrader. Long ball. Over the top to Lecamp. He started it all. Ball in two hands. A little dummy looking for the offload. Can't get the hands free. Arriving is Big Joe Schrader. And he will bang it down in the corner. And if that one's given, that'll extend the USA's lead.
Well, his long arms and legs might well go against him here, which is a rare thing to say. So close to that touchline. What a player Schroeder's. That pass before it, his support play in at the base, picks it, he goes blind. Ishwood again trying to stop him, gets that chop tackle in, and his size 15s, I think, just hit the sideline. That's unfortunate, but Ishwood, that is an impressive tackle.
Foot is out.
Thank you. No try.
Yeah, foot clearly on the line, so that'll be chalked off, and that will be half-time. So opportunity missed for Joe Schrader. Good defence from Canada to keep it close. 12-7 in Pool D. Coming up next, Samoa, who are red hot at the moment. Haven't won a title some time, but they've come very, very close. They are really a team in form. They're up next against Japan. As we go inside the USA Eagles huddle. Kayvon Williams doing the talking.
They're afraid of our feet. You get up that sideline, you go. Look for the pull out. If it's not on, jam it hard. We'll get him on the split side. On receive. Okay, get back in here. Defensively forward. Okay. Fourth defender, stay connected. Okay. Give it that really high three-man press. That fourth guy's falling off a bit, and they're looking to hit that space. Okay. Fourth guy stay connected. Okay. And we're just over-chasing a little bit. Okay. Again, we have that collectiveness. We have that connection, then we put that pressure on. Cool. One change, keep in for ish. Okay. So boys, just build out that's Frantic, boys. Take a breather. Hey, just 1 sec, boys. That's outstanding to get the stop on that, right? That's all.
Coming up next, also in Pool D, Samoa, 4th seeds here. They've been in and around the medals under the tutelage of Brian Lima of late, up against Japan. Simon Amell, their head coach. That'll be coming right up after we're done with USA Canada.
The second half gets underway. Just one try separating his two North American cousins.
Back underway. Brock Webster sends it high for Mora. Williams can't hold on to it for the USA, so it'll be early possession for Canada, down by 5 in this Pool D opener here. Day 1 of the Dubai Sevens has been chipped ahead by Cooper Coates, who's back from injury for Canada, but getting back well for the USA was Lucas Leclerc. Now Williams. Heavy tackle coming in from David Richard to stop Thomason in his tracks. Here's Tupuola to Baker. He's got Jake Teal in front of him. Baker will have him for pace, but he'll pop it up nicely to Tupuola, who ducks under a tackle. The chase is on from Webster, but Marcus Tupuola will have too much gas and he will run clear.
And it's nice to see Perry Baker back him up all the way, because that is the threat that Baker possesses on a sevens pitch. Teal's so scared about the outside. Russell has to overshoot. Tupuola then ducks under the 3rd defender, getting across. And then there's open track in front of him. Baker might not be taking the outside like we usually associate him to, but that was lovely interplay. Picks the gaps, men know where he's going to go. And Tupuola, he gets 5 on the board, looking good for USA now.
Thomason with the extra 2. Tupuola, his 13th career try and just his 16th event. His 3rd season. As we go sideline, there's Sean White, who's taken over from Henry Paul, the head coach. He had a glittering career as a player. Sean White 32 times for the 15-a-side team, also 27 events for Canada Sevens, couple of Commonwealth Games as well. But his team are under pressure now. 19-7. Webster manages to get the ball back into the hands. Here's Mora to Burner. Put on the floor by Perry Baker. Cooper Coates is there. Mora arrives at pace. Good tackle though from Thomason. Advantage Canada. Flicked out the back to Jake Teal. They need a response. They need it quick. They'll go back to the original decision. Of course, these two nations famously played in a cup final in Singapore several years ago. Canada got the win there. Still their greatest day in rugby sevens. New look side this though now these days. Some of those big names of the past have since moved on.
Substitution,
Brock Webster eats up some easy meters over the halfway line.
Number 2.
It's a feature
Canada.
for both of these teams, actually. Had that real core of players that played so consistently for so many years together. They were known around the world as being hugely impactful. And with change, you get that little bit of opportunity, a little bit perhaps of underperformance. But both of these teams want to get back doing their strengths, which for Canada's offloads.
Webster with the dummy. Well tackled by
Good
David
counter.
Still. Didn't fall for it. Tupuola already with a try in the game. Lecamp just juggles. Runs into Phil Burner.
Turn over. Okay, release tackler.
Been turned over here by Canada, though. Really good work on the floor. David Richard just sharpens the attack. Back to Burner. Webster's going to come the same way. And Gongo is out off the bench to Morra. Josiah Morra is going to narrow the gap for Canada. That's just what they needed, just at the right time. They have found an opening. It all came from the turnover. Good score.
And that's how you capitalise on that turnover ball. Morra's got the pace, but it's Ngongo's pass right here. That catch and distribute. Perry Baker putting some heat on. That is execution under pressure. And talk about effort. Look at that grimace.
The intensity of Josiah Morra from Toronto has got Canada back in this one. All the way under the post, so an easy conversion for Webster. Importantly, narrows the gap to 5 points. A converted try could win this one for Canada. Still 2:40 to go. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. These guys know that. USA were looking comfortable, ball in hand. Canada looking lethal at the turnovers.
Schrader. Tall figure, does really well off the restart. Unlifted, offloads the ball as well, and now they come away with it. Ben Brazel's out there off the bench for the USA. Good run from him. Little dish pass to Thomason out the back again. This is nice from the Eagles. Schrader, lovely hands to Perry Baker. Hasn't had the space, but did put Tupuola in some space a little earlier for the try. Flick out the back to Schrader. Another intervention from Ben Brazel. Malachi Esdale is out there in the 8 shirts as well. Here's Thomason into contact. Esdale. Make sure they secure possession. Schrader.
Cannot dive over the in-play.
Over to Baker. There is a penalty coming USA's way. Still 5 points in the lead and eating up seconds off the clock as well.
And this is where you have conversations as teams of a transition score. They haven't took it, they've gone for the scrum, but you could go drop goal there. And it gives you that 8-point lead, and it's a little bit of a cushion. They'd rather take the time off it, set the scrum up. You've got Perry Baker on the left. But how good has Ben Brazel been as an impact? That's what you want from your substitutes.
Yeah, Naima Fual out there as well in the 7 shirt, replacement scrum half. Here he is feeding the scrum. He's Perry Baker all the way over here on the near side. This is the direction they're going to come as well. Tupuola. Baker can't hold on to it. And that's the error that Canada were looking for. A minute to go. They're going to get another shot at this.
So Mike Friday always talking about that EQ, the emotional quota, the intelligence of rugby. So this is just a drop. Perry Baker won't like to see that one through the hands into the face.
Here you go. North.
But things like those decisions at that penalty, you've got so many options.
Crouch.
3 points should have been a conversation, and it may well be a regret.
Sit.
So Canada, scrum. Power comes on from the USA looking for the turnover, but the team in red get the ball away. Running it out now from their own 22. This is really good stuff from Lockie Kratz over the halfway line. And the penalty comes as well. Seconds almost out here. Counting down, but another opportunity for Canada. Decision to make. What do they do? Scrum or kick to the corner?
Well, they've gone corner 3 times. They've lost the line out twice as a result of it. Webster's looking to try and kick it downfield. Doesn't actually matter too much here in terms of territory. It's not like 15s where you want to be 5 metres away from the try line. Just needs to go out. Then their launch play. But as I said, focus then on winning the restart. The line out is massive for them here. They need to score near the post to ideally give them a chance for 7 rather than 5.
Clock's in the red. This is the final play. Canada 5 points behind the USA. A converted try will win it. They contest the line out, the Eagles. It's messy for Canada, but they have the ball back. One last shot to try and win this game. Look at Ben Brazel. His impact has been significant for the USA. But Owaru has it. Look at the power of the man. 6'1", 110 kg. But they've knocked it on just when they didn't want to come up with the error. They put the ball forward, and the USA hold on for the win. 19-14. It finishes between USA and Canada in Pool D.